Some political observers argue there are now more questions than answers after Hillary Clinton's day-long testimony to the House Benghazi committee. The hearing looked into the details surrounding the September 11, 2012 attack in Libya that killed 4 Americans, including the ambassador to the country. The committee pressed Clinton for answers to questions like, why was the U.S. in Libya? Why were security requests denied? And why was she willing to tell everyone but the American people this was a terrorist attack? One of the most revealing moments came when Republican Congressman Jim Jordan questioned Hillary about the explanation she gave in the first 24 hours following the attack.
At 10:08 on the night of the attack, you released this statement. Some have sought to justify the vicious behavior as a response to inflammatory material posted on the internet.
Yet even though she led the American people to believe an anti-Islamic video was the motivation for the attack, she told her family, the president of Libya, and the prime minister of Egypt a different story.
The next day, within 24 hours, you had a conversation with the Egyptian prime minister. You told him this: we know the attack in Libya had nothing to do with the film. It was a planned attack, not a protest. Why didn't you tell the American people exactly what you told the Egyptian prime minister?
Clinton defended her statements, saying she was careful with her wording to the American people about what happened at Benghazi, saying, quote, some have sought to justify that the video, not terrorism, was the reason for the attack.
I was very careful in saying that some have sought to justify. None of us can speak to the individual motivations of those terrorists who overran our compound and who attacked our CIA annex. There were probably a number of different motivations.
But analysts like Terry Jeffrey, editor of Cybercast News Service, questions whether or not she intentionally misled America into thinking it was a protest over a video and not a terrorist attack. Because if it was an attack, that could have hurt President Obama's claims about a successful fight against terrorism shortly before the 2012 elections.
I think that's the question. Was this a calculated deception of the American people because they had this foreign policy disaster leading into the election? And I think that communication, which came out in the hearing today, makes that question very relevant.
Clinton stayed relatively calm during the hearing, even as Representatives Jordan and Democrat Elijah Cummings got into a fiery exchange over whether or not a full transcript of a trusted Clinton advisor's private testimony should be released. The hearing comes at a strong point in the Hillary campaign as she rides the momentum of her debate performance and no longer faces the challenge that Vice President Biden will run against her for the Democratic nomination. But can she win in 2016 with polls that suggest the American people really don't trust her? Reporting from Washington, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.